Morning. If you're tuning in, you're watching the Board of Finance public hearing on the 2021-22 municipal budget. I'm Lainey McHugh. I'm the chair of the Board of Finance, and attending this meeting today on Zoom are members of the Board of Finance and our alternates, the first selectman, as well as the chair of the Town Council and the Town Council Finance Committee. Today, if you wish to speak to anything concerning the 2021-22 budget, you can do so by accessing the link on trumbull-ct.gov. It should be right on the spotlight when you click on the front page. We've made that link there. If you are watching on Facebook, you are not able to raise your hand and speak through Facebook, and we will not be recognizing the chat feature. It's very hard to follow. So you would need to use the link and hop on via Zoom. There is a second chance to speak on Tuesday, March 23rd at 7 p.m. The same process will be followed. So if you don't have the opportunity to speak today, there is a second opportunity to do so. And you may also email your comments to either pcollier, C-O-L-L-I-E-R, at trumbull-ct.gov, or to me directly, Lainey McHugh at gmail.com, and we'll make sure that all those comments get to the full board. A couple other notes. We typically have a 3-minute time limit. There does not appear to be a lot of speakers this morning, so we'll be somewhat lenient to let you get your message across. And we will not be responding to your comments on this at this time. If there's anything for follow-up after the meeting, we can do so by email. I'm going to go to our list of attendees, and I see a hand raised. I'm going to ask Frank Squicamaro to speak first. Oh, Frank, I'm sorry. I did forget the Pledge of Allegiance. If you would join me quickly. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Sorry, I forgot that this morning. All right. Frank.
Hello. Sorry. There we go. Frank Squicamaro, 15 Echo Hill Road, Trumbull, Connecticut. I am PTA president at Toshua Elementary and president-elect of the Trumbull PTA Council. I'll be speaking on behalf of the PTA Council today, their executive board. I'm going to read a correspondence we sent to you. The Trumbull PTA Council supports the Board of Education's 2021 budget increase request of 3.9%. The council urges the Board of Finance to increase the Board of Ed budget above the recommendation made by the first selectman. The Board of Ed budget request came at a time when the board was asked to respond to dual mandates. One stemming from the results of the operational review, and the other from its responsibility to continue to build an exceptional education system. The request is appropriate and necessary to achieve both objectives. It ensures that Trumbull's children will have access to a more efficient system that funds personnel necessary to respond to the challenges raised by the operational review. It also ensures that students will have access to personnel that will help strengthen their academic outcomes. The council recognizes that these are challenging times for Trumbull and that the COVID pandemic has touched every individual constituent in varied ways. It urges the Board of Finance to consider that a large sector of these constituents are the students of Trumbull, whose personal and educational lives changed overnight. The toll that this pandemic has taken on the social, emotional well-being and academic trajectories of these students is already evident and will become more visible next year. The council reminds the Board of Finance that these students will require more support systems than usual. These support mechanisms include math and literary specialists that the budget includes. The students also deserve to continued access to small class sizes that Trumbull has so far been able to offer, but could be threatened if the budget is not sufficiently funded. The families of Trumbull Public Schools, the students, and the teachers have made great sacrifices over the past year. They've gone above and beyond to ensure that Trumbull's children remain healthy and focused. They've all worked hard to preserve the excellent academic reputation of Trumbull Public Schools, but this effort has taken a toll on them all. At this moment in time, students' families are looking to their elected officials to demonstrate through direct action they will do all necessary to support them next year. Thank you. On a personal note, this is my third year coming to the Board of Finance, the public hearing. And it seems like every year I see a little bit of the pie getting cut. So hopefully this year, with this budget proposal that the Board of Ed has put forth, we can actually add something to our school system to help restore it to the system that we all moved here for or grew up here in. Thank you for your time and your volunteerism and your elected positions. Thank you.
Thank you, Frank. I also saw that the PTA put out some great information about the status of the budget and where we are in the process. I hope that you will also direct everybody to watch the Board of Finance, Board of Education hearings that took place on March 2nd. And again, this past Thursday on the 18th. There was a lot of information discussed, and I think it was presented pretty clearly. So I think that will be helpful for people to understand the status and where we are.
Yes, thank you.
So I'm looking at the list and I don't see any other hands raised. If you're watching on Facebook and you wish to speak, you'll need to go to the Zoom link at trumbull-ct.gov, hop on through Zoom to be able to raise your hand to speak. We'll wait a couple minutes to see if anybody else has comments to make. I see Tony D'Aquila wishes to speak. Hi, Tony. You can unmute, Tony.
I'm bringing him in as a panelist.
Oh, and just one second, Frank, can you just, for our clerk, just state your address?
Yes, 15 Echo Hill.
Thank you. Sorry, Phyllis, I almost forgot. Okay, Tony, go ahead, sir.
Tony, you're on mute.
This is wonderful. I can see people now. Recently, there has been multiple news articles in the.
Tony, can you just tell everybody where you live and your name?
I'm sorry, 29 Valley View Road.
Thank you.
Recently,
ahead,
there's
sir.
been. I'm sorry.
No, that's
Recently,
it,
there's.
thank you.
Recently, there's been multiple news articles in the Connecticut Post regarding the problems with the Bridgeport's wastewater treatment plants and their inability to handle the regional sewer flows from the Bridgeport and Trumbull municipalities. We have learned that the Bridgeport sewer wastewater collection system is an interconnecting system of both sanitary and stormwater collection subsystems. This Bridgeport interconnector system, coupled with potential infiltration of stormwater into the Trumbull sanitary system, creates an overcapacity situation for two treatment plants in Bridgeport that in turn requires the discharge into the Long Island Sound of untreated or partially treated sewage. There typically has been on an annual basis approximately 50 reported instances of overcapacity discharge, which represents 1.6 billion gallons of untreated sewage into the Long Island Sound from these treatment plants. Each overcapacity discharge will result in fines, increased costs, and significant restrictions on the plant's operation. Potential grants expected from the federal stimulus packages for infrastructure development creates the unprecedented opportunity for both Trumbull and Monroe to enter into a regional partnership to design, construct, and implement a new regional wastewater treatment plant that can be built in Trumbull, specifically on land owned by Trumbull and even the state of Connecticut, adjacent to White Plains Road, Old Town Road, and Quarry Road. I therefore urge the First Selectman, the Board of Finance, and the Town Council to actively pursue this opportunity to build our own regional wastewater treatment plant in Trumbull for the exclusive use of the residents of Trumbull and Monroe. We need to pull the plug on any continuing relationship with the city of Bridgeport as it relates to wastewater treatment. The most interesting aspect of my testimony this morning is the fact that this is the same testimony that I presented to the Board of Finance budget public hearing 12 years ago on February 12th, 2009. Since that time, nothing has been done to resolve these critical sewer problems. This situation represents a total failure of the Trumbull government to fulfill its statutory obligation to protect and promote the public's health, safety, and general welfare. It's been 12 long years, and we are still waiting for our elected and/or appointed town officials to propose a workable strategic plan to resolve this crisis. Thank you, Lonnie.
You're welcome, Tony. I'm not sure that's something that we'll be able to talk about in next year's budget, but I do hear your point. When it is among the things that are being looked at in town.
Thank you.
Looking at the list of attendees, I want to recognize that Jason Marsh from the Town Council is on listening. April Lang is listening. I see Allison Squicamaro and Marie Petiti from the Board of Education are also in attendance. I don't see any other hands at this time, but we'll wait a couple minutes to see if anybody else who's watching on Facebook wishes to hop on the Zoom, which the link is available at trumbull-ct.gov on the front page right under Spotlight. Wait a few minutes. Bill or Katie, do you see anyone else that's trying to hop on?
Let me check. It doesn't appear to be.
Okay. Okay. I don't see any other hands raised to speak today. We have a second opportunity to speak on Tuesday evening at 7 p.m. The link will remain on the website as well as on our agenda for the evening. Any comments can be emailed to pcollier@trumbull-ct.gov or to lainey.mchugh@gmail.com. And thank you all for attending.